Hello everyone, my name is Michael SK, and welcome back to Fate Stay Night Remastered, where we are on day 5 of Heaven's Feel, still at school. We actually just got done talking with Rin, got some advice from her, got a little bit of information from her, and we even shared our lunch as our equivalent exchange, quote-unquote. Classic Shirou move, honestly. But yeah, Shinji is out of the war to the best of my knowledge, but I'm sure we'll see him go down another Gilgamesh sort of direction, probably. Hard to say. And, yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with Sakura in this one, but it sort of seems like the idea is that Shirou is going to protect Sakura. He's going to ask her, hey, do you want to stay the night or whatever for a bit? And we go from there. Surely she won't say no, right? After school, the campus dies down. The classroom's empty, with students either going home or to their respective clubs, like baby spiders scattering from the nest.
こっちも一足先に帰って準備しなくちゃな。
I need to mentally prepare to have Sakura stay over too. I'll do my dinner shopping first, then break the news when Sakura comes back from club practice. I would ask her now. Just go to practice, or to her club practice, and ask her, like, hey, do you want to stay over? Arms folded, I paused to think in front of Toyetsu, the local supermarket. If I want Sakura to stay over, I'll have to convince Fujine. Meaning that I should think of a way to make them both happy.
昨日も派手にやったからな。バイトもしばらく休むし、食いぶちも一人増えたし、あんまり余裕ないんだけど。
Didn't we get like hella money the other night? Still, I can make an exception this month. I do have savings, and I can't fight the Holy Grail War if I'm worried about living expenses. I can just think of it as a way to repay Sakura for everything that she's done. Yeah, that works, in my opinion.
Yep.
With a bag full of ingredients, I leave Toyetsu. Usually I'm against overspending, though in this case, the bounty was good. I managed to get my hands on some high-grade Pacific cod, which could go well in a stew tonight.
よしよし。これで藤根対策は万全。
While walking home in high spirits, I stop in my tracks. Oh, don't tell me. Something's pulling on my clothes from behind me. Is it a child, perhaps?
何事?
I turn around curiously. Yep, there she is. I'm met by the sight of a young girl with silver hair. I leap backwards with a yelp. The girl just watches as I panic. The hell? She doesn't seem hostile, much less murderous. Instead, she says,
よかった。生きてたんだね、お兄ちゃん。
She beams at me in genuine joy. There's no mistake that this is Berserker's master. She commands that monster that nearly tore me in half with a single slash that night. She's from an ancient magical lineage that founded the Holy Grail War, one that my old man Kiritsugu betrayed. But what's she doing out here in the middle of the day? With Father Kodamine's words still fresh in my mind, she's no longer just a stranger to me. That's why, without thinking, I murmur.
イリや?
Without knowing the significance of it, I blurt out the girl's name.
いや、違った。イリアス、そう、イリアスフィールだった。間違えてごめん。
I bow out of reflex. It doesn't matter whether she's Berserker's master or the daughter of the Einsburns right now. I just can't leave her alone. Not when she looks like she's about to cry.
いや、悪気はなかったんだ。ただ、つい口にしちまったっていうか。
名前、教えて。
Oh, she doesn't know his name.
お兄ちゃんの名前、教えて。私だけ知らないの、不公平。
But she knows who he is, right? That's right, come to think of it. Iliasvale introduced herself before, but I still haven't told her my name.
俺はシロウ。エミヤシロウっていう。
エミヤシロ。不思議な発音するんだね。
Yeah, close enough, honestly.
違うぞ。今の発音だとエミヤシロじゃないか。エミヤが名字で、シロウが名前なんだ。言いにくかったらシロウってだけ覚えてくれ。
Without really thinking about it, I correct the girl's lilted pronunciation. I even wag a finger at her, which makes her blink in surprise. And by the time I realize how blunt that I'm being, it's just too late. Once again, she looks like she's about to cry.
白か。気に入ったわ。単純だけど響きが綺麗だし、白に合ってるもの。これならさっきのも許してあげる。
Suddenly, she grabs my arm.
待て、イリアスフィール。何すんだよ、お前。
さっきみたいにイリアでいいよ、シロ。私もシロって言うんだから、これでおあいこだよね。
いや、それは言いやすくて助かるんだけど、とにかく待て。
I try to shake Ilya off my arm, but she just squeals in delight. Uh-oh. At this rate, the neighborhood mother hens will start to gossip. We don't want that.
何が目的だ。こんな真っ昼間からやり合おうって腹か。
I finally wrench my arm out of her grasp. Ilya looks unhappy.
なんだよ。そんな顔してもダメだぞ。何のつもりか知らないが、俺だってマスターだ。
Ilya shoots a glance at the shopping bag in my hand. But she also keeps looking at me curiously.
イリア。
何、シロ。
She's, not how I imagined. She laughed back then too, but the feeling behind it was different. Like maybe...
イリア、お前、戦いに来たんじゃないのか。
何？シロは私に殺されたいの？
Not necessarily. Her gaze is enough to make my hair stand on end. No matter how young she looks, this girl is the strongest master. I don't know. She might be giggling innocently one second and become a ruthless master the next.
よくわかんないけど、シロがそう言うんなら私はいいよ。予定がちょっと早まるだけだもん。セイバーと一緒にここで死ぬ？
Again, not really.
ふざけるな。そんなわけあるか。俺だって殺されるのは嫌だし、こんなところで戦うのもごめんだ。
でしょ？マスターはね、明るいうちは戦っちゃダメなんだよ。シロもセイバーを連れていないし、私だってバーサーカーを連れてないでしょ。
それはそうだけど、じゃあ何しに来たんだよ、お前。俺に会ったのはただの偶然か？
偶然じゃないよ。セラの目を盗んで、わざわざシロに会いに来てあげたんだから、光栄に思ってよね。
I believe that's one of her attendants. I think I'm getting dizzy. Just when I thought she was in serious master mode, she's back to being an innocent child. I have no way of knowing which side is the real Ilya, and this is very similar, if not pretty much the same, as when we first came across her here in town whenever we were ditching school. Instead of going to school in the Fate route, we actually came across her, like, what, 3 days worth? And then she kidnapped us. And then all of that happened. Honestly, wild-ass times, honestly.
わかった。とにかく、イリアは俺に会いに来た。けど、戦うつもりはない。これでいいのか？
私はシロとお話をしに来たの。今までずーっと待ってたんだから、それぐらいいいでしょ？
I don't know what she means by at least, but apparently she really is just here to talk.
それとも、シロは私と話すのは嫌？シロが嫌なら帰るよ。本当は嫌だけど、したくないことさせたら嫌われちゃうから。
Ilya gazes up into my eyes. As a master, it's dangerous to stay here with Ilya any longer. If Saber were here, I'm sure she'd be vehemently against this course of action. But I can't just leave. Not when she's looking at me like that. I know it's heedless, haphazard, and half-cocked, but...
いや、イリアと話すのは嫌じゃない。本当言うと、俺もイリアとは会って話がしたかった。
Yeah, honestly, like, there's more to this now. Like, I always felt Ilya was different. I mean, she's a bit of a murderous child that we came across in the Fate route, but here now we know a little bit more about, you know, the history. That there was a little bit of a connection between the Einspurns and the and the Emiyas, specifically Kiritsugu in the previous war. I don't know if she necessarily holds a grudge, but she has to know Kiritsugu. She has to. Plus, I'm pretty sure the anime hinted at that. I don't know if there were any, like, noticeable hints here in the visual novel, but no, there's more to come from whatever this relationship between Ilya and Shirou is.
やった。じゃああっちに行こう。さっきね、ちっちゃな声見つけたんだ。
I also just really hope that she, because it was really unfortunate that no matter what, in Unlimited Blade Works, she dies, and her heart is ripped out and used as the core for the Holy Grail. That really does suck. As, you know, crazy as she is, and now that we actually know a little bit about her backstory, how she came to be a master, and the pain that she went through, a little bit against her will, I think. Yeah, she didn't really have the best of upbringings. You do have to feel for her. You know, whenever you have sympathy grown for, like, an antagonist, you know, I think that's whenever the storytelling can be done really well. As soon as I agree, Ilya starts running, practically dancing in delight.
ほら、早く早く。急がないと置いていっちゃうからね。シロー。
What a wacky character.
なるよ。
In all the scariest of ways. Resigning myself to my fate, I follow after her. Ilya called me Shirou. That means I should deal with her in kind, not as a master, but a regular girl. I don't remember if, like, our meeting here went to the park the first time around in the Fate route. There's no one else at this park. Not in the sandbox, nor on the swings. It feels lonely. I sit down on a bench with Ilya. We must look like an odd pair. Ilya is clearly not my sister, since she's obviously foreign, but we have too much of an age gap to look like friends. I mean...
話をしようって何を話せばいいんだよ、イリア。お前から来たってことは、なんか聞きたいこととかあったのか?
There was that social link in Persona 3 that I think I came across I can't remember if I came across it back in Fest or Portable, excuse me. But there was in the remake, you know, that's when I completely went through it, and it was just odd because you were at a playground with an actual child and you're a high school student.
なんで？別に私、シロに聞きたいことなんてないよ。
Well then, how am I supposed to answer that, unscrutable little lady?
イリア、話がしたいって言ったのはお前だよな。なのに、なんで要件がないんだよ。用がないんなら来ないだろう、普通。
そうなの？用がないとお話ってできないの？
いや、そういうわけじゃない。今のは言い方が悪かった。用がなくても話はできる。むしろ、用のない話って方がいいことかもしれない。けど、参ったな。俺はイリアをよく知らないから何を話していいのかわからない。イリアの好き嫌いがわからないからな。イリアだってそうだろ？いきなり聞かれたくないことを聞かれたら嫌じゃないか？
それはそうだけど、じゃあ何を聞けばいいのかな？シロ、何聞いても怒らない？
なんとか。俺のがお兄ちゃんなんだから大人な対応を努力する。
Oh boy.
そっか。じゃあシロ、私のこと好き？
What does this kid think she's asking?
嘘つきだ。シロ怒らないって言ったのに怒った。
I don't think he's necessarily mad.
バカ、誰だって呆れるぞ今のは。お前が人をぶった切っておいて好きか嫌いかもないだろう。
何よ、あれは違うもん。シロが弱っちいくせに飛び出してくるからじゃない。私は悪くなんてないんだから。
悪くないわけあるか。だいたい初めからやる気満々だっただろう、イリアは。
Ilya's shoulders tremble as she goes silent. Oops. I made up my mind to forget that we're masters, and here I am putting my foot in my mouth.
イリア。
なるもん。何よ、シロのバカ。私が止めてあげなくちゃ死んでたくせに。口だけは達者なんだから。
Ilya's shoulders shake and she stares at the ground, even as she says something ominous. Well, she's got me there. I'm the one who steered the conversation this way, and I'm older. Ilya's just a kid.
そのな。
I make up my mind and decide to say it. I say, fuck, I don't hate you, or it doesn't bother me. Huh. This is a bit of an odd one because both can kind of be interpreted similarly, but there's a difference here. Saying I don't hate you could be interpreted negatively still. It doesn't bother me could also be taken negatively. God damn it. Shit. I don't know. I don't know which one will avoid us dying. Like, that's sort of the goal here, is to avoid death. I don't hate you, or it doesn't bother me. Because are we saying it doesn't bother me to everything that happened, or are we saying it doesn't bother me to something else? And for I don't hate you, like, we're alluding that, okay, we do like her. Let's just go with the first choice and, hope for the best,
知り合ったばかりで、イリアのことはよく知らないけど、イリアは嫌いじゃないぞ。
Okay, this seems promising.
少なくとも、今みたいなイリアだったら仲良くなりたい。
本当？
その妹みたいで楽しい。それと、あの夜のことは今後一切口にしない。こんな約束しかできないけど、それで信じてもらえるか？
シロがそう言うなら信じてあげる。
Ilya nearly tackles me when she hugs my arm again.
たく、なんなんだお前。
So I grumble, but this isn't so bad, I reassure myself. Right now, Ilya has no ill will towards me. I'm not going to fall over from a hug either, and if I lose my cool here, that'd be a failure of a big brother. As long as I've got her here, I'll have an easygoing chat with her, just like she wants. Okay, I don't know what the other choice would have led us to, but I think this was okay. To the best of my knowledge and feeling here, I think we're okay. I think Ilya and I chatted for about an hour. Ilya happily listened as I talked about meaningless topics and everyday stuff. At some point, I realized how heartbreaking this was. Ilya really is an innocent little girl. She doesn't hesitate when it comes to being a master. It's so tragic that she doesn't feel any fear about fighting in a war. The magical lineage known as the Einsburns. This young girl is who they sent to carry out their 1,000-year-old obsession. If that's Ilya's objective too, then I...
イリア、一つ聞くけど。
何？
エミヤ・キリツグって名前に聞き
Oh,
覚えは
here
ない
we
か？
go. I just have to know. Time stops. It's an emotionless silence that seems to erase all the time that we've spent so far together.
知らない。そんなやつ、私知らない。
Her silver hair sways. Ilya stands up from the bench and does a little twirl like a fairy.
そろそろ夕暮れだね。夜になったらバーサーカーが起きちゃうから、もう帰らないと。
Ilya bids me farewell in her childish way.
そっか、そうだな。俺もそろそろ帰らないと。
I stand up from the bench. Break time is over. The sun is setting, so we're back to being enemies. And yet I...
また会えるかな、イリア。
The question comes naturally to my lips.
どうしようかな。私はそうでもないんだけど、シロは会いたい？
会いたくなきゃ言わないぞ、こんなの。
じゃあ明日も気が向いたら来てあげる。期待しないで待っててね。
Okay, so this seems to be kind of going like the fate route. She runs out of the park, but the pale girl stops awkwardly.
さっきのは嘘だよ。本当はね。
Yeah, I
知ってる
know.
人だった。
I'm fully aware.
イリア？
そう。私が生まれた理由は聖杯戦争に勝つことだけど。
Her footsteps fade into the evening. Leaving me with that, she leaves without looking back, and I watch her go. Yeah, that's, ominous. I mean, her goal is to kill both, but one of them's already dead, so... I guess we'll see what happens.
って、あれ、藤姉のやつはもう帰ってきてやがんの。
I take off my shoes and enter the hallway. It's not even 6 p.m. yet, so why's the Kyoto Club advisor back so early?
おかえりなさい、シロ。
ん？帰ってきたか、兵六玉。
Wait, what happened? Saber greets me while seated in a polite size of posture, while Fujine is very improperly resting her face on the coffee table. There's a shadow of defeat in my adoptive guardian's eyes. I'm curious as to why, but experience tells me it's probably no big deal.
ただいま。遅くなったけど、なんか変わったことはなかったか、セイバ
ー。はい。これといって異常はありませんでした。そういうシロの方はどうでした？
いや、異常らしきものはなかったよ。シンジも来てなかったし、学校はいつも通りだ。とりあえず見て回るべき
Should we
対象
really
か
be
ら
having
外
this
していいとは思うん
conversation
だ
here,
が。
by the way? Like, hold on now. Using roundabout language, I report to Saber that there are no other masters at school.
なんか匂う。この甘酸っぱくて雨上がり給料日に隠したまま思い出せなくなった1万円のような気配は間違いなく秘密の匂い。
Okay, that's the only thing she seems to be paying attention to. She sniffs the air like a dog off its leash.
シローから足かせの錆びた匂いがする。怪しい。お姉ちゃんになんか隠してるのかにゃー。
Oh, I thought she was just smelling the food. Or the groceries that will become the food. I don't believe it. How was she this hammered so early in the day?
セイバー、藤姉となんかあったのか？この虎をここまでダメにすんのは並大抵のことじゃないぞ。
いえ、私は何も。大河に元気がないのは空腹だからではないでしょうか。
Saber says something terribly cutting with such ease.
嘘だ！タイガの腕前が知りたいなんて言って人をボロボロにしたのはセイバーちゃんじゃないのよ。
Fujine pounds the table. Whether out of frustration or fear, she scurries behind me and loudly boos Saber in protest. Also, she sure is acting all buddy-buddy with Saber real fast.
セイバー、もしかして藤姉と手合わせしたのか？
いえ、大河の時間が空いているのなら体を動かそうと提案したのです。市内による模擬戦ならば大事は起きませんから、大河も承諾したのですが。
騙されちゃダメよシロ。セイバーちゃん確実にやる気だったわ。私わかるもん。鉄砲知ってるもん。あれはやる気。もう絶対やる気。うわー、隙を見せたらバターにされる。
That's just the way she is. Fujine trembles.
セイバー、まさか。
I think this scene here is very similar to I want to say a scene in the Fate route. I could be wrong. Did you fight Fujine like you really meant it?
まあ、つい気を緩めてしまったというか、シローの帰りが遅いことへの反感と大河の技量が思いのほか高かったことでとっさに反応してしまったというか。
Wow, that sounds terrifying. Fujine reached an impressive 5 dan in kendo at her age, but Saber's on a completely different level.
とにかく命が惜しかったら夜打ち朝がけとか禁止禁止。セイバーちゃんを襲ったりしたら地獄開幕。死して屍拾うものなしなんだから。
She's right. I still have another problem to deal with. What do I do with Saber who insists on sleeping in the same room as me? I'm a growing young man, and I have issues with a girl like Saber sleeping in the same room.
その心配は無用です、タイガ。シローの命令であれば私は従うのみです。
むむむ？セイバーちゃん、なんか今すごい微妙なこと言わなかった？
とりわけ何も。それよりタイガ、今晩よりシローと同室で眠りますが、どうか誤解なきをお願いします。
Uh-oh. Fujine freezes in her tracks. Oh no. Given how we're positioned in the power balance between us, she's definitely gonna do it. She's gonna do the tiger thing.
藤姉、 実は昨日から秘密にしていたんだが。
I hear Fujine from behind me.
よいしょっと。
Wow, she's totally ignoring me. And I just heard a sound like a phone book being slammed on a table.
よく聞いてくれ。セイバーは日本語がわからない。
せーの。
Oh no. That's not gonna work. Ah, there it is. The sensation of being put in a sleeper chokehold from behind. Fujine doesn't know how to hold back her own strength, so when she has me by the neck, I'm in serious danger.
そんな場合じゃねえ。おい、藤根、入って決まってるから。あ、本気で落ちる。
Uh-oh. Fujine's answer is to grapple me harder in a magnificent grinding of bone and flesh.
ギブギブ、やめろって、そこから投げに持ってくるなし。
In my fading consciousness, I managed to tap Fujine's arm. However,
うるさい。落ちちゃえ、このドラ息子。お姉ちゃんはシロをそんな風に育てた覚えなんかないんだから。
hello, death. Oh shit. I'm going down. Damn. Just one problem after another. God damn it.
だけ、ひどい目にあった。
My neck makes cracking noises. Bent nearly at a right angle, I managed to get off with only bruises thanks to my daily training.
面目ない。こうひねってからは手を離して受け身可能にしようと思ったんだけど、シロったら思ったより重くて投げるだけで精一杯でさ。
当たり前だ。いつまでも子供じゃないぞ。藤姉の細腕でジャーマンなんかやんなよな。下手したら藤姉も自爆してたんだから。
はい、反省してます。
セイバーもセイバーだ。同室って言っても隣の部屋だろ。
ですが、私はシロの身を守るためにですね。
十分守ってもらえてる。だいたいな、同じ部屋になんて寝られたらこっちが先に参っちまう。セイバーには悪いけど、あれが最大の譲歩だ。それ以上は徹底抗戦だからな。
Okay, you know, I do have to say, it's always fun seeing how things get all situated in these routes. Like, this is the last time that we're going to be going through all this setup, but it's always fascinating to see, okay, how is Saber going to get convinced to just be sleeping in the room right next to Shirou's? And how is she going to be able to, or how are they going to be convincing Sakura and Fujimura that, okay, Saber is here, and in some occasions, Rin is here. You know, it's always pretty fun to go through all of it.
難しいものですね。
二人とも分かったんならよし。さて、じゃ、夕飯の支度でも始めるか。
I stand up, stretching my neck.
そうだ、藤根。今日から桜を止めようと思うんだけど。
Oh my god.
昨日セイバーに使ってもらった離れに。
さくらちゃんを止める？別にいいけど、いきなりどんな心境の変化よ。シロ、ここんとこ妙に変よ。
いや、さくら最近調子悪そうだし、シンジは家を空けてばっかりだから、しばらく周りに人がいた方がいいかなって。
まあいいけど、その旨はさくらちゃんに伝えてあるの？部活の時、さくらちゃんいつも通りだったけど。
It seems like she's really good at covering things up because, yeah, she has seemed a little off.
いや、それはこれから。って、藤根こそ部活どうしたんだよ。こんなに早く帰ってきて。
ちょっと怪我人が出ちゃってね。あとは三辻さんに任せて、体調悪い子たちを家まで送って直帰したのよ。
Something like that happened, huh? It's a little concerning to hear that someone got injured at club, but Fujine wouldn't be here if it was serious. Someone probably just jammed their finger or got anemic. Anyway, this is my chance. Sakura is like family to both me and Fujine. And I should ask Fujine for help or tell Sakura myself. No, I think we can do it by ourselves. I mean, no harm on the other direction, but I feel like if it's coming straight from Shirou, it'll be okay. Yeah, we'll do it ourselves here. I trust in Shirou's ability. No, this is important. It's my decision, so I shouldn't push it onto someone else. It's only right that I be the one to tell Sakura. Just as I make up my mind, the doorbell rings with perfect timing.
お邪魔します。
It's Sakura's voice. I'll ask Sakura right away. It's faster this way. Okay, but like, don't spring it on her like we kind of jumped onto Rin earlier today.
夕食の支度はこれからですか？
ああ、これからだ。今日は俺が一人でやるから、さくらはのんびりしてていいぞ。その代わり、藤姉の相手でもしてやってくれ。セイバーに任されて自信喪失してるんで、トランプか何かで追い打ちを頼む。
あ、先輩ひどいんだ。藤村先生、今日大変だったんですよ。
Well, she had an even rougher day when she came here.
ああ、そんなこと言ってたな。じゃあ路線変更して、将棋あたりでなんとか。
将棋ですね。はい。それなら藤村先生の独壇場です。私じゃ飛車抜きのハンでもらってもコテンパンだからちょうどいいと思います。
Sakura's in a good mood. The swelling on her face is gone, and there's no sign of the dark bruise from this Wait, those things existed? Did I just not pay attention? Okay, now would be a good time to bring it up.
で、さくら、唐突だけど、今日からうちに泊まってけ。
泊まれって先輩？
しばらくマトウの家には帰るなってことだ。期間はそうだな。できれば1週間ぐらいいてほしい。
Sakura's expression stiffens. She gazes back at me like she's scrutinizing my heart rather than my face.
無理を言ってるのは分かってる。けど、さくらにはどうしても泊まってもらう。どう思われてもいいから、しばらくうちで暮らしてくれ。
Well, her being overjoyed is what I expected, and we're not seeing that immediately here. Sakura doesn't answer. She just keeps watching me, and I notice that she slightly bites her lip, and then asks that. Finally, she asks me in a very quiet voice. I can't give her a reason. On my life's honor, I can't tell her it's because Shinji is a master, but anything else would be a lie. I mean, you could try to word things in a way just to, you know, word it so it's true, but you're not stating everything yet. Everyone has secrets. I'm a guy, so there's plenty of stuff I don't say to Sakura and Fujine. No matter how precious someone is to you, there are some things you just can't tell them. That's all the more reason I can't lie to her. If Sakura is my precious family, then I'd rather not tell her anything that's untrue. The atmosphere between us chills. Silence falls over us, and it seems to stretch on forever. Sakura awkwardly breaks eye contact. I desperately rack my stupid brain for a response.
さくら、理由は言わなくちゃダメか。
She doesn't answer, but her eyes seem to show concern for me rather than herself.
私が心配だからですか？
She states it outright. Well, yeah, there we go.
さくらが心配だ。だから、さくらがここにいてくれると助かる。
Her long, dark hair sways. Sakura nods at my inadequate answer, and answers not with words but a smile. Works for me. As long as we have her here, and she is quote-unquote safe. This is just common sense, of course, but once dinner is over, all that's left is to take a bath and go to bed. There's no problem at all. Really, it's totally normal. Nothing out of the ordinary about it. However,
藤村先生、少し相談があるんですが。
なになに？言ってみそう？
ですね、
そっか、着替えの問題があったわね。制服ならうちにあるかな。普段着は私のでいいならあげるよ。
いえ、うちに帰ったら戻ってこれなくなりますから、できれば帰りたくないんです。
それは大丈夫。さっきお家に電話してさくらちゃんのおじいさんに許可取ったから。
先生の家なら安心だ。ご指導よろしくお願いします。
だって。
what is with her voices? I like it.
そうですか。なら本当に私、ここに泊まっていいんですね。
そうだよ。で、 着替えの話だけど、寝巻きは私のでいいよね。
いえ、その
Ah,
先生のだと
that's messed
つい
up.
と思うんですけど。
Saying this here in front of everybody.
そっか、さくらちゃん胸おっきいもんね。
その肉を分けろ。
What?
先生、何するんですか？
冗談冗談。けど困ったわね。さすがにさくらちゃんサイズの下着なんて持ってないし、さくらちゃんつけて寝る派？だよね。おっきい人はそういう人多いよね。けど苦しくないの？
苦しいですけど、そういう時はですね。
なるほどなるほど。若いっていいな。じゃあ明日の朝までにはうちの若いのに揃えさせておくから。そういうわけで、さくらちゃんも遠慮なくお風呂入ってらっしゃい。
Well, this is awkward. Bye. You didn't need to have that conversation in front of me, stupid Fujine. I'm a man. I'm trying not to think about it, but if you talk about it here, I'll be extra conscious. And I won't be able to look at Sakura the same way.
あれ、シロ顔赤いけどどうしたのかな？何？
Not at all.
やっぱりさくらちゃんの話気に。
何言ってんだか。そっちの内緒話だろ。俺は聞こえてなんかないし、気になんかなってない。
あれ、そうなんだ。じゃあ私からいいこと教えてあげる。さくらちゃんいいの85なんだってさ。すごいよね。去年から実に13センチも大きくなってるんだよ。
Did she actually drink this time? Just curious, you know, like has she been drinking more, if she was already drinking? Just, she's really going all out tonight, honestly. But these numbers and letter do nothing for me.
シロもそのあたり気づいてたでしょ？最近さくらの体は柔らかそうだなとか、抱きしめたいなとか。
藤村先生、どうしてそういうことするんですか？
I have no idea what just happened. Sakura counterattacks, taking Fujine to the ground. She's blushing bright red and furiously trying to cover Fujine's mouth. Sakura, I understand why you'd want to silence Fujine, but don't silence her basic life functions too.
おー、びっくりした。さくらちゃん見かけによらず武闘派なのね。いきなり息を止めに来るなんて先生びっくりよ。
I can't believe her teacher was like, you know, just revealing all these deep private secrets of hers.
知りません。藤村先生は少し反省してください。
Sakura turns away from Fujine sulkily. Then, we end up making eye contact with each other.
いや、バスタオルは風呂場にある。
Nah, really?
それじゃあ失礼しますね、先輩。
Sakura hurriedly turns to leave the living room. And once again, she run into the wall?
鼻ぶつけちゃいました。
I was about to warn her to watch her step. Before I could, however, she ran smack dab into a pillar.
さくら大丈夫か？
Was she panicking so bad she ran into a pillar before she even made it to the hallway?
はい、大丈夫です。大丈夫なんでお風呂入ってきます。
Poor girl. Sakura disappears down the hall, her steps wavering. I can finally breathe now that Sakura's in the bath. If that tension had gone on much longer, I might have been the one to flee the living room.
ふふん。
なんだよ。言いたいことあんならはっきり言え。
別に。たださくらちゃんも大変だなーって。顔を真っ赤にしたシロ、いつもより意地っ張りで可愛いし。 そういうシロの前だとさくらちゃんも余計恥ずかしかったんじゃないかな。
赤くなんかなってない。あのな、さくらは家族みたいなもんだぞ。ずっと飯を作ってもらってきて一緒に食べてきた後輩じゃんか。
じゃあシロは失格したくないんだ。
当たり前だ。さくらはシンジの妹だぞ。友人の妹を預かってんだからちゃんと監督しないとダメだろ。
あ、そういうことか。シロ気がついてないだけかと思ったらそんなことまで気にしてたんだ。
Fujine heaves an exaggerated sigh. This is very unpleasant.
前途多難ね。さくらちゃんも大変だ。
どこ行くんだよ藤根。
どこって脱衣所。さくらちゃんに着替え用意してあげないと。シロは離れの部屋の準備でもしてなさい。シーツとかちゃんと新しいの出してあげるのよ。
Fujine just says whatever she wants and leaves me in the living room.
ちょっと客間の準備してくるからセイバーはここにいてくれ。
Saber nods wordlessly and I leave the living room. What a weird day this has been. Oh, she gets the room that Rin was going to be staying in if she were, here. I make the bed and check the guest room furnishings. It's a different room from the one that we initially set Saber up in, one that hasn't been used in a long time. This one's better for Sakura, and it has a lock on the door. Sakura's, well, a girl, so I figure that she'll feel more comfortable if she can lock her door.
別に藤根の言葉に踊らされたわけじゃないけど。
I lay the sheets out and pat them flat. This bed has never been used. As soon as I start thinking that Sakura is going to sleep on it tonight... Calm down, buddy.
シロもそのあたり気づいてたでしょ。
Calm down. Awful thoughts fill my mind.
バカ言うな。そんなこと今さら。
But that goes without saying. I've watched from right next to her as Sakura has grown more and more beautiful. I'm happy for her, and I've been telling myself not to be conscious of it. Sakura is Shinji's little sister, and she helps me out of a sense of guilt over the way her brother behaves.
あれからもう1年半か。別にさくらが気にすることでもないのに。
It all started with the accident that caused me to leave the Kyoto Club. I hurt my shoulder at work, and there was some talk about the burn scars being an issue, so I figured it was a good time as any to quit the club. After that, I think it was Sakura who volunteered to start helping me out at home until my injuries had healed. She still looked younger back then, and struck me as a hard worker. The first day, she waited in front of my house for me to come home, then stood there sullenly face to face for a while, until she finally said that she wanted to help me, and I think she was out there for 2 hours.
あの引っ込み思案なさくらが今じゃ弓道部の期待の星だもんな。
Sakura's demeanor has brightened a lot, actually. I first met her 4 years ago through Shinji, I think, when I went over to his house to play. She was silent, and she had a habit of letting her hair cover her face. She still has that part of her, but Sakura back then looked positively downtrodden. She always had a glum look on her face, and would just stand around absently. When I compare Sakura now to back then, I truly do feel happy for her. I'm relieved that the depressed girl who was always staring at the ground is now someone who can laugh like she's genuinely enjoying life. I was going to say herself, but same shit.
さくらの体は柔らかそうだなーとか抱きしめたいなーとか。
What a horrible influence. I don't really know myself. At the very least, I only saw Sakura as my kohai until recently. That image of her only started to crumble recently. When did it start exactly? Maybe it happened long before I realized. Or maybe we're so close that I never needed to notice.
くそ。今まで平穏にやってきたってのに。
Why does the thought of Sakura sleeping over make my heart pound like this? It's rude to Sakura. I should hurry up and finish cleaning the room. Then I can let Sakura stay here. I'm sure her staying over is going to be totally fine.
そういえば、さくらは？
It's going to go perfectly, I'm sure. But we'll wrap it up on that note. I'm tired. I've actually been doing a lot of recording here. This was a long recording session. 2 episodes worth. And I was standing the entire time. Good old standing desk. But no, this was actually a fun one. We got to interact with Ilya again. I am continuously curious to see where that is all going to go, what our connection with Ilya really is, and what sort of role she's going to be playing here in this one. So, honestly, really excited for that. Excited to see what we're going to be getting out of Sakura, because she's here. We're really bringing her into the story, whether she likes it or not. But like I said, I'm sure that she's known something for a while, and I'm sure we'll find some evidence of all of that. But yeah, thank you all for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take it easy.